think my nail just fell off. Fuck, it hurts. This one is called Orange too.
Heidi-ho, everybody. Welcome to the Frankfort Report. I'm Darryl Frankfort, and here we go. Today, March 13th, 2025. Welcome, everybody and anybody. It appears as though things are getting worse out there. And just in case it wasn't scary enough out there, the situation is definitely getting worse. There is no one is safe. Nothing is safe anymore, unfortunately. Good day, everybody. Dumb Money, thank you very much. Appreciate the support. Jim Untz, D. Trent, welcome. Dawn M, hello. Thank you, all of you regular awesome people. Sheridan Forbes is here, everybody. And Rose Overdose. Wow, what a great group of people. Thanks for being here. Say hello in the chat if you haven't already. Welcome to the show. One might say the Muppet Boiler Room condo flipping market is dead. Not only is that market dead, all of the markets are dead right now, it would seem. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Why the fuck not? Honestly. Please subscribe to the channel. Everybody, hit the like button and let's go. Okay, today, what are we talking about? What do I have for you nutty people that are spending your days listening to me just absolutely regurgitate on top of you regularly? Thank you for letting me do that. It's somewhat therapeutic, apparently. Okay, let's see. What is going on right now? Breaking. Bank of Canada has no clue what's coming. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound very good. Did I play this yesterday? I don't feel like I did. But I don't remember what day is what and where I am on most days. Breaking. Bank of Canada has no clue what's coming. Uh-oh. I feel like, oh, Jesus, what did I do? I feel like they should know what's coming, or at least have an idea. They don't know if tariffs will cause inflation or crash the economy. They expect Q2 to be ugly, but won't say how bad. They can't do anything to stop it. Tiff McCallum says inflation will only rise momentarily. Uh-oh, heard that one before. Is it transitory? Just like last time when inflation lasted 3 years. Clown. This time is different, they say. Do you believe them? Why is it different this time? Last time was supposed to be transitory, if you remember. Let's see what old Tiffy Boy has to say. Please, let me remind you that I do very little to prepare for this show, unfortunately. So be warned, this will likely not be very good. But here we are, and this is how it's going to be.
We are now facing a new crisis. Depending on the extent and duration of new U.S. tariffs, the economic impact could be severe.
Am I the only one who feels like we are constantly under the threat of some form of crisis? Why are we always on the verge of crisis or in the middle of a crisis? There's a lot of crises going on. Oh, and thank you to all of you out there who didn't tell me my microphone was fucked up yesterday. Can you guys, look, if we're going to be on a team together, okay, if we're going to do this daily together and grow as a family, you have to warn me in the chat if my mic isn't working and I sound like a hollow robot, okay? Please. I'd like to put that out there. You didn't do your job yesterday, guys. You're not just supposed to be here just to amuse yourselves. You're backup, your support. We're in this together, guys. Come on, for fuck's sakes, get with it. How's the mic today? What do you think?
Inflation is forecast to increase to about 2.5% in March.
Increase to 2.5% in March. Where's inflation now? I feel like it's like higher than 2.5%. Is inflation lower than 2.5% right now? I feel like inflation is like still 13 to 42% at the moment, depending on the product.
With the end of the tax break. Threats to new tariffs and uncertainty about the Canada-U.S. trade relationship are already having a big impact on business and consumer intentions.
Big. We're going to get to some stories later that are showing very clearly that tariffs are having a big impact already. A big impact already.
Canadians are more worried about their job security and financial health as a result of trade tensions, and they intend to spend more cautiously. Job security concerns increase particularly among workers in export-oriented industries, including manufacturing, mining, and oil and gas. Businesses have lowered their sales outlooks, notably in manufacturing and in sectors that depend on discretionary spending by households.
What isn't included in that group? How many things are not part of discretionary spending? Honestly, okay? Because really, we could all just stock up on craft dinner, right? We could all just drink water and stock up on craft dinner. The rest is unnecessary, right?
Credit has become more difficult to access for some businesses, and with a weaker Canadian dollar, the cost of imported machinery and equipment has risen. As a result of all these trade-related factors, many businesses have scaled back their hiring and investment plans. Business intentions to raise prices have increased as they cope with higher costs related to both uncertainty and tariffs. At the same time, inflation expectations have moved up as Canadians brace for the possibility of higher prices.
There's so little demand for everything right now, and it was already kind of slowing down still or more before the tariff thing. And so, although it may make things more expensive, if the demand goes down, doesn't that counteract possibly the tariff? I feel like it's not inflationary. I feel like in a good market, it would be inflationary. But people are already hitting the brakes on everything. And so, I mean, they'll just hit the brakes more because of this, I think. I think this is deflationary. Am I crazy?
This recent shift in consumer and business intentions is expected to translate into a marked slowing in domestic demand in the first quarter of this year. At the same time, merchandise trade data suggests businesses on both sides of the border have stocked up on imports in advance of tariffs. As a result, Canadian exports and imports are both expected to be stronger than expected in the first quarter. The impact on exports looks to be bigger, which should provide some offset to weaker domestic demand.
Blah, blah, fucking blah. What is this fucking guy even talking about anymore? You got to keep us interested for the whole 3 minutes, for God's sakes. Or you got to at least say something that we could use. That was a 3.5 minute clip, of which very little was useful, to be quite honest with you. My notes are all over the map today. I try and put together some kind of a plan for the show normally. I did not do that today. And you will be able to tell. But there is something that we should do that we haven't done for a long time, okay? We need our daily reminders, because I got complacent with this, okay? I got complacent with the daily reminders. Why does it keep asking me to do this? One moment, please. I'm verifying that I am not a robot. Here we go, okay? Daily reminders for the Frankfort Report to keep us all in line and remind us every day.
You're doing because you keep raising the fucking bar.
Oh, God damn it. You see, we need somebody. We need somebody
Maybe you don't
that's...
realize how good you're doing because you keep raising the fucking bar. Okay, killer?
Okay, killer.
Nice work.
Let's hear that one more time. Little tushy rubbing for the ego.
Maybe you don't realize how good you're doing because you keep raising the fucking bar. Okay, killer? Nice work.
There's something about the way she says, okay, killer, nice work. That just makes me feel good, okay? I like to feel good sometimes. You know, in the middle of all this craziness, it's nice. Now, we have to remember this. This is very important, if you ask me. If I could figure out how to just get things set up and ready without screwing them up, would be so much better for all of us. Let's remind ourselves of this.
Do crackheads say, I can't get high today because I'm broke? No, they make it happen. Don't let a crackhead hustle harder than you.
And this is especially true in times like now, okay? You have to hustle harder than a crackhead who's run out of crack.
Do crackheads say, I can't get high today because I'm broke?
No, they don't. They come up with all kinds of ways to hit quota. They're not going to sleep unless they hit quota.
No, they make it happen.
They make it fucking happen.
Don't let a crackhead hustle harder than you.
It's funny, but it's true. You cannot. And this is what a lot of people, I don't know who I was just talking to, but a lot of people, you know, especially realtors, they're smashed over the head right now over the amount of work that they have to do, right? Because they're not used to hustling. They're used to talking. They're not used to doing work, right? Now, in case we need a little bit of extra energy right now, because it's, you know, it's the end of the day, it's 5:15, we're finished. Some of us are finished the workday. Some of us are just getting started. Some of us are in the middle of our workday. But regardless, it's 5:15. And what do we need to do at 5:15? We have to do our cheer, right? We have to do our cheer. I hope you know what cheer I'm talking about. If you've been here for a while, you'll know what's going on. Get ready. Maybe, you know, a little stretch time. Get ready. Here we go. This is our cheer, everybody. Did I fuck it up? Yes, I did.
They, them, energy. They, them.
Whoa, something weird happened. Ready? Let's try that again.
They, them, energy.
This one's called Orange too.
I don't know what happened. Are you still here, everybody? Sorry about that. We lost the entire audience because my computer just went fucking bananas. I apologize profusely for that interruption. I hope we can get this back on the rails. It hadn't really gone off the rails because of me, for a change. Is my computer working properly? Can you hear me? Is everything going okay out there? Everybody there? Are we, is this working? Can you hear me? Hello? Let's see. I don't know if I fixed this or if it's still fucked. Are we live? Are we live? Oh, we're back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Sorry about that. I have no fucking clue what just happened. That has never happened before. I do apologize. That was unfortunate. Hopefully people will come back and join us. Hopefully I didn't lose everybody. But if you did come back, you're the best. If you stayed, you're better than them, quite honestly. If you're new, thank you. Thank you for being here. If you are one of the people who have not hit the like button, well, there's a special place in hell for you, son of a bitch. Okay, maybe it was because what I was showing, because I wanted to build up the energy in here a little bit, right? Maybe this is not legal to show anymore, if you know what I mean. And if you don't know what I mean, then I guess it really doesn't friggin' matter, does it? But I need some more energy. It's 5:20. I'm doing this, for God's sakes. So we're going to get some energy here. We are going to get some energy here together, everybody. Are you ready? Can you feel it? Are you ready to feel it? Okay, maybe this will work. Is my screen being shared? Can't tell if I did this right or if things are broken or if I just fucked everything up completely. Okay, here we go. Are you ready for this? Here we go.
They, them, energy. They, them, energy. They, them, energy. They, them, energy.
Boom. I love the ending. I love the ending. They, them, energy. Ready? One more time, okay? Let's get up. We should do it like at the baseball games, the 7th inning stretch, right?
They, them, energy. 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 They, them, energy.
Okay, sorry.
They, them.
How can you not like that? Is that not like just get you pumped? And if you were doing the dance like me, you'd be pumped right now. You would be pumped up and ready to go. They, them, energy. Here we go. Okay, what else do I have on my agenda for you today? I'm going to force feed you. What am I going to force feed you? Ford. Okay, here we go. A little Doug Ford action for us. This is kind of weird, I think. If it comes out the way that the post is suggesting, okay? There are rumors. Okay, this guy, we like this guy. I don't know how to say his name. But there are rumors that Mark Carney will call a snap election immediately after being sworn in as prime minister. Is he not the prime minister yet? Who's the prime minister? Why is he acting like he's the prime minister? He has to be sworn in still? Doug Ford says Carney is an extremely astute businessman. Whoa. Who will get along great with Trump. Ford is officially campaigning for the Liberal Party of Canada. What is happening? Is this a fact? Oh, this is a good picture of these two. Okay. I'm pretty sure Carney's evil, by the way, based on my research and the research that Charlotte has done and sent to me.
Prime Minister designate Mark Carney held a photo op at a Hamilton steel plant.
Designate. Prime Minister designate. Is that like, what do they call the president? President-elect. Is that president-elect?
this morning after a breakfast meeting with Ontario Premier Doug Ford. Ford emerging later in the day with a positive outlook for the soon-to-be Prime Minister's potential relationship with Donald Trump.
Well, I think so. It's going to be a better relationship than with Prime Minister Trudeau. No disrespect to Prime Minister Trudeau.
No disrespect to him. How about disrespecting him on purpose, that piece of shit? Fuck you, Trudeau. Fuck you, Trudeau.
I can tell you one thing. Mark Carney is extremely astute business mind. He understands numbers, and so does President Trump and Secretary Lutnick. I think they're going to get along very well. They both come from the same financial sectors.
Uh-oh. Is that good? Is that bad? What do we think? Is this out of character? I mean, you kind of have to be on the good side of the new Prime Minister coming in if you're the Premier of Ontario. I think I'd rather be the Premier of Ontario than the Prime Minister of Canada. I mean, what's more important than Ontario in Canada? Actually, as I'm saying that, I'm thinking maybe Alberta. Alberta. Can you imagine if Alberta actually left and became the 51st state? What would we do? I mean, I guess we could sell all the rest of this amazing stuff that we have other than oil, but that would be interesting. That would take a nice chunk out of the old beaver pelt there, huh? Okay, what else is going on? I got so many things here. I don't know how they weave together. Forget about this garbage. What's going on in the chat? Anything interesting happening in the chat? Not that anything interesting ever happens in the chat here. I saw somebody before saying how unbelievably awesome I am. So thank you for that. Appreciate that. Always well received how awesome I am. I'm glad you all notice how awesome I am. That's pretty cool. D. Trent talking shit with everybody for a change. Welcome. Hello. CK. Hello. Ahmed Yakub is in the house. Ahmed Yakub in the house. Realtors. Let's start bidding wars. Yeah, well, bidding wars work. Marco Peruzza, do you believe is the Mark Carney comeback? Do you believe in the Mark Carney comeback, maybe? Is that what you're trying to say? I heard something about you, Mr. Marco Peruzza. I heard something about you. Just saying. Ahmed Yakub. That is so awesome. Now we have Stream Inception. He disappeared. MTV Music Awards. What are you guys talking about? Looks like the whole Muppet crew is punching in for another shift in the boiler room. We got Dawn, Charlotte. Yes. Is this the Muppet Boiler Crew? The Muppet Boiler Crew. Is that what we call this group of friendly folks? Sheridan Forbes. What a great bunch of names, eh? What a baseball team. At bat, number 9, Sheridan Forbes. D. Trent, hanging out at my church. Is that another name for this show, your church? Is this the church, D. Trent? Or are you actually hanging out at a church? And if you're hanging out at a church, is that weird? What are you doing at the church if it's a real church? Now, if you call this show your church, that's pretty cool. And if you're not, we're going to pretend like you did anyways. This is your church, D. Trent. This is your church. All right. What other nonsense is going on out there? Canada. This is bad. This is bad, guys. This is not good at all. Uh-oh. Disable ad blocker. Okay. I didn't do it. Are we going to have a problem here, folks? Oh, no. How do I disable my ad blocker? Press this. Press this. Press this. Okay. Canada faces a... Oh, this is going to be tough. Canada faces a recession followed by long recovery if 25% tariffs stick. Desjardins CEO. Watch Guy Cormier talk about what could lie ahead for Canada if Donald Trump's trade war. Oh, it's not an article. It's a video. Oh, I see. Do we watch this? Let's see.
Are we heading in now?
Hi, Guy. As we wait to get some clarity on the prospect of tariffs coming from the U.S. administration, give us an idea of some of the conversations that you are having at Desjardins.
Well, first, hi, Larissa. Thank you very much for this moment together.
I don't know how long I'm going to be able to listen to this guy with the French accent. I don't know. I don't think so. It's going to be a long, tough ride.
Yeah, we have many conversation right now about the trajectory of the economy with the tariffs. Are we heading in a slowdown? Are we heading in a recession?
If you know me, you know I went to French immersion. And so the French accent for me is painful. Okay? It's painful.
What's the impact on inflation, interest rates, affordability, incomes? So that's the kind of discussion that we're having right now. And also, how can we support our members and our clients, the individuals, the entrepreneurs, the CEOs, the business owners? How can we support them proactively to go through this difficult time?
Let's just break down some of those divisions.
Let's just talk about some. Okay, I can't watch this anymore. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry I put you through that. You know, it's the headline, right? It was the headline that caught me. Canada faces a recession followed by long recoveries if tariffs stick. I still truly, honestly, okay, and you may not agree with me, and you may think I'm a putz, but I really, truly, honestly feel like this is a golden opportunity for Canada, okay? This is our time to shine. If ever there was a time to shine, if ever there was a time to decouple ourselves from the USA, and if ever there was a time to make our mark on the planet as the biggest and the best supplier of materials to the world, to the highest bidder. Do you need lumber? How much would you like to pay? This is an open market, right? Do you need steel? How much it's going to cost you this much per ton now, because now we don't just send it all to the US. We'll sell it to anybody. We'll sell it to the highest bidder. And there hasn't been those bidders because we have poo-pooed them away, right? We have sent them away. We say, no, we can't sell to you. We're selling to these guys. We like these guys. It's easy, right? So this could be our golden ticket. This could be the biggest, most important moment in Canadian history, right? While I'm saying that, maybe this is a good time to ask you to please subscribe to the channel. Now is the best time to subscribe to the channel, everybody. Look at the graphics we got going on this show now. Please subscribe to the channel. Appreciate that. And it now would be, oh, no, that's not it. Okay, listen. I figured out a way to hide the person's phone number who's calling, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. So if you want to call in, I got it all figured out. You guys wanted graphics? You got graphics. You wanted the phone number on the screen? You got the phone number on the screen. Now, don't call me on the phone. WhatsApp me at this phone number on the screen right now, okay? WhatsApp me on the screen. I mean, on the phone number that's on the screen, okay? It is time. It is time. Let's go. Donnie M, Dumb Money, D. Trent, Charlotte. Somebody call Sheridan Forbes. You can do it. Somebody call Anthony Warner. Let's go. Let's go. Somebody call. If you don't want to call, don't call. Fine. Forget it. Don't bother calling. No, call. Let's go. Calls are the best. We had a great call yesterday, right? We had Norm Lee called in yesterday, the OG of renderings in the world. Okay, that was a surprise. It's always nice to hear and see who actually watches this show, the Canadian Real Estate Show. Had a great conversation today with Tom Story. He's going to call into this show at some point next week. Steve Karish calls into the show. Marco Peruzza calls into the show. We got, I think, didn't Jeff O'Toole call into the show? You get to know people when they call into the show. It's nice to get to know you people out there. Rose, it'd be great for you to call into the show. Okay, seems like the people that watch the show the most are the biggest vaginas, okay? The biggest vaginas. What the hell is with the like count today, folks? All these people, no likes. It makes me sad, honestly, for God's sakes. Okay, you want to see... This is Trump is misleading you on Canadian tariffs. What does this mean? Let's see. Ed Krasenstein. Is he a Jew? Krasenstein. It's got a Stein. Ed. Could be Jew. AI and crypto futurist. Creator of Krasencast. Subscribe. Okay, so he's really not that. He's nobody. Doesn't matter what he has to say, but it caught my attention. Trump is misleading you on Canadian tariffs. Trump and Republicans keep claiming that Canada has 250% tariffs on U.S. dairy products. This is extremely misleading for a few reasons. I've heard different, versions of this. How much are we tariffing them? When does it kick in? Is it does it amass to anything significant? And I don't know. One, these tariffs are only in effect when Canada imports over 13 million gallons of milk, 27.56 million pounds of cheese, or 11.02 million pounds of butter, cream in a single year. Otherwise, the tariffs on dairy are mostly around 0%. Canada rarely ever exceeds these quotas. Is this a fact? Is this true? We have a caller. This is great. Okay, you're screwing up what I'm doing, but hold on a sec. Let me answer. Oh no, why can't I answer? Why does nothing work around here? Hello?
Darryl.
Oh my God, it's working. Okay, hold on a sec. One moment, please. I have to press another button or it's not going to work properly. I got this thing rigged up differently now. Okay, there we are. Who do we have on the line?
Is your main man, Jeff.
Jeff, what's happening?
How are you?
I am so good that, I'm okay. I'm okay. Listen, the market's fucked, and it's getting more fucked. It's getting nerve-wracking out there.
Which market are you talking about?
Which market
There's so
am
many
I talking
markets.
about? Well, I'm only in the real estate market, so that's really the only one I care about. It seems to me that the stock market's not doing so hot. It seems to me like every part of the Canadian real estate market is not doing so hot right now. What market is not in this category, sir?
I would say the ice cream market. That's the only thing that you can probably count on having a good time this summer with. That's the only thing that's going to be a solid thing to be buying.
Ice cream, repo. I'm sure there's a few other plays for, the smart people that see the future and buy stocks, but man, stock market's taking a real shit kicking, isn't it?
I wouldn't really say that the stock market is taking a shit kick. And I think, I follow this pretty religiously, but the stock market, was overvalued 10 years ago. So everything since then, it's just been gravy for anybody that's actually held stock. You got like Apple Computer at 34 PE, like absolutely insane. You look back at the 1970s when things actually were sort of fairly valued, and a PE of a regular blue chip stock was like 8 or 9. Mm-hmm. So yeah, GE back then was selling at 8 or 9. They had the dividends on that back then were 9 and 10%, and PEs were at 8, and nobody wanted to buy stock. So we got 34 PEs on Apple Computer, and everybody wants to buy it like it's nobody's business. So nothing makes sense now. Absolutely nothing makes sense.
This is
Real estate.
This is the way it works, right?
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I don't know how this is gonna go, but we haven't seen. Everybody's complaining about the stock market going down. Everything's gone up for 2 years. Every day I look at the stock market, up. A bad day is 100 points. You go to CNN, everybody's complaining about the stock market going down. And we've had, I don't know, 3 days, 4 days, maybe, 3 weeks of stocks not going up. Everybody's just everybody's just saying, well, what the hell's going on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and with same thing with real estate, nobody's used to a correction. Nobody's absolutely used to a correction.
Well, they don't happen that often.
Well, there's a 10% correction usually every year in the stock market.
Stock market, yeah. Well,
yeah.
Stock market, everything's fucked right now because nobody knows if this thing is going to last or what this thing even is. So, how long do you think this tariff nonsense is going to last?
Well, I think that they're going to be. I think he's going to draw this out until the USMCA comes up, and he's just going to squeeze and harass, and Canadians are going to keep taking the bait and elbows up. I mean, it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous what's going on right now. But he's going to squeeze until 2026 when this thing's up for renegotiation, and then what he's done is basically demoralized everyone. Walking into those negotiations, they know that they don't have an upper hand. Canada always thought that Canadians have always thought that they bat outside of their their really field to play. They always thought they had the upper edge. I don't know why, but Canadians have always thought they were better than what they actually were, and they're going to walk into that USMCA renegotiation, and they're going to hand over the farm. I mean, if the Liberals are in charge, then, which I hope, hopefully, for God's sake, I hope not. They're just going to walk in there and drop their drawers. That's what I think.
Well,
but,
right now
there's
two schools of thought going on, right? There's one school of thought that says that Canada is actually fairly mighty and the cards we hold are fairly significant and can cause some pretty deep welts and cause some major problems for them on the other side of the border. And then there's the other school that says they don't need us for anything. They have everything that we have, and it's just a matter of time before they kind of get things going again, or I don't know what the right word is, but like they reorganize over there, right? They set up more. I mean, what's happening? We see it all over the place. I've got some articles here, but people are letting people go here already just with the threat of these tariffs, right? And then people are definitely talking about moving operations over there or closing this operation here altogether. Like, it's wreaking havoc just with the threats. So like, how long does this thing last? And is this a real thing right now? Is he just shaking a saber and what's he trying? You said he's going to keep squeezing. Like, what's he squeezing for?
So he wants a whole new deal. He knows that he needs a new trade deal, and he knows full well what's going on in Canada. Canada is very, very weak at this point. The debt ratios are just absolutely ridiculous. So when you go into a negotiation and you have, no leeway, Canadians are tapped out. Everybody's up to their eyeballs in debt. The federal government is up to their eyeballs in debt. The provinces are even worse. So he knows that the Canadians don't have really a leg to stand in. They don't have an edge, because if their industry goes, like, let's say Canada goes into a recession, it's going to completely annihilate everybody, because nobody has any leeway. There's no extra money kicking around for anybody to fall back on, right? Everybody's leveraged up. The only thing that they've got is lines of credit. So everybody's running around with no real money in the bank, but thinking, okay, well, I've got 50 grand on my line of credit, or I got 100 grand on my line of credit. Everybody, nobody actually keeps any money in the bank. So Trump knows full well what's going on in Canada and how leveraged people are, and that they can't, the Canadian government or the powers that be, if we even go into a small recession, it's gonna knock out entire industries. So when you go into a negotiation in 2026, which is not that far away, that he's going to know is that the Canadians don't have any leverage. There is no leverage. So they just wants a better deal with natural resources. He wants a better deal with oil. He wants a better deal with all the agriculture stuff. I mean, I think he's just warm. He's going to press for another year. And when they go into that negotiations, we're going to be, Canadians just can't, they just cannot play this game for very long. So, but he's going to keep this up. You think how silly it is every day. He's saying, okay, I'm going to tariff this, or I'm going to tariff that. Well, it just throws everybody off track. It upsets everybody, right? So,
well, it's just
this is going to be a 4-year event. This is going to go on for 4 years.
4 years. The whole time that he's in office, we're going to be dealing with this shit. Uncertainty.
If we elect a liberal government, look out. He is going to be up our asses like nobody's business.
So Charlottetown says, sorry, buddy, we're already in a recession, which I was thinking the same thing. How long have we been in the goddamn recession? And then Dumb Money says, O'Toole rules.
We haven't seen the layoffs yet. We haven't seen the spike. The only time you get a recession is when you get that spike in unemployment, and it's got to go up over 10%, and then it's game over. Once the unemployment rate goes up over 10%, it's
game over. So hold on a sec. So here, chill here for a second. Don't say anything for a bit. Let me come back to you, but chill out. We're going to see some stuff going on here where we have, hold on a sec. Let me pull this up. Hopefully it still works with you on the line. Hopefully I don't fuck this up. Let me just see. Did I do this right? Can you see my screen, everybody? Can you see my screen? Hold on. Maybe I fucked up for a change. No, I think it's working. Can you guys hear me? Can you see my screen? What's happening? Do I have this right? Anybody there? No? I must have fucked it up. All right. Hello? Everybody there? No? Did I fuck this thing up? Uh-oh. Okay. I lost him, and I think I fucked this up. Can you hear me? In the chat, can anybody hear me? I think I ruined the day. Sorry, Jeff. We'll get you back on later. Or no, oh, here we go. Jeff's back. Can you hear me out there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me out there, everybody? Okay, Jeff, you should be back on the line. I don't know if this thing is working. I don't know if I can share my screen at the same time as I'm talking to you right now. Let's see. Hopefully I get it right. If anybody in the chat wants to help me out, you can hear me. Oh, that's great. Can you see my screen? Okay, check this out. Breaking. The fallout has begun. Jeff, you can hear me at least?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, at least it's just you and me. Okay, ready? 20 workers at Algoma Steel are gone. Just the first casualties of a trade war they never signed up for. More cuts are looming. Livelihoods erased. Keep in mind, this is Shazzy Goalie, so it's really scary. Families on edge, all because of a tariff threat from Trump. This is only the beginning, okay? So we got Shazzy freaking us out over some job losses at Algoma Steel. And then on the same day, we've got this article comes out. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm seeing again. Hold on a sec. You be quiet. Okay. Layoffs announced for Eastern Ontario steel plant citing U.S. tariffs. A major Canadian steel manufacturer with a plant in Eastern Ontario has announced layoffs in light of U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs on steel and aluminum products. Holy Jesus, right? That's two in the same day, right? That can't be good for business, right? Is that good for the economy? And this is on top of, if you remember, we talked about, and he called in actually yesterday, Norm Lee, who had to let go of 20 of his staff. I believe it was 20 out of 25. And so, you know, we saw construction layoffs, and then all of a sudden we saw construction jobs go crazy again. And then all of a sudden, I got a feeling like we're just going to see consultant after consultant, supplier after supplier, manufacturer after manufacturer start to let people go. What do you say about that?
So when you watch, I'm just thinking to myself here. So when you watch Trump, when he says something, when you're watching him, just watch him, and he'll say something that's the very top of his mind, and then he will briefly stop, he will think, or he will not think, and then he'll just let something out. And if you notice, if you watch him, he will say one thing, but what he really means is in his second statement. So if the one big thing that I saw that he said was that Canada has financial problems. We can't take care of Canada's financial. He said that under his breath. He said Canada has financial problems. So Trump now knows that Canada has financial problems. Everybody has financial problems. So the layoffs are coming. I mean, it's going to drip, it's going to drip, and it's going to drip. But the big deal will be here is that the federal, the provincial governments are completely way overstaffed. And the tax revenue, so you're not going to have the tax revenue, like the private economy supports the public economy. So when the private economy starts laying off, the tax revenues don't come in. So they're going to have to start thinking about laying people off in the public sector. So once they start dripping and drabbing public sector layoffs, that's when it's all over, because they can only they ran a $62 billion deficit last year. And even with a new, let's just say hypothetically a liberal government comes in, he's not going to be able to run $100 billion or $150 billion to keep, to make up for the tax revenue losses, and then public sector, wage increases, because they're all asking for 4% and 5% and 6%, right? So you got public sector wage increases, you got federal government wage increases, and then you're going to have a tax revenue base that's going to be decreasing. So you can spike the deficit by 50, 60, 70 billion dollars at a time, and the only way to do that is to start laying people off in the public sector. So this is a typical recession. This is how it goes. So the private sector starts laying off first, and then the public sector follows suit, and then it just gets worse, right? So that's and it doesn't happen all at once. It all just sort of drips and drabs, and you'll hear about this layoff there, and you'll hear about that layoff there. And then all of a sudden, 20,000 people are laid off, and you didn't even know what happened. You know what I mean? It just sort of calls up, and everybody tightens up their purses, right?
Well,
so then the retail goes down.
Well, so is this? It seems like at least the politicians on the Canadian side are looking to use this tariff war as another reason to print more money and throw money at people out there so that they can stay afloat.
So did you notice this week when they dropped the interest rates? Did you notice the bond yields went up?
Mm-hmm.
So
the 5-year went up, right? And the 10-year.
Yeah.
In the States, the 10-year went up. Here, the 5-year went up.
So what that's saying is that the bond market is not going to have the money printing. And that's exactly what happened when they started dropping the rates in the States. The bond market is not going to allow the money printing. So they're going to have to. This is just the way a recession works, and we haven't seen one since basically the 1990s. Like, we haven't really seen a true recession since the 1990s. So this is how it goes down. This is textbook recession.
Textbook recession. Okay.
This is textbook recession.
So, how many other things are there that are in the textbook? So what does that even mean? I don't even know if I said that in English, but it seems to me like there's no textbook anything going on right now. And that, yes, there's this idea of what happens at what point in a recession. Nobody even knows where we're at and things. Is there a chance that they continue their streak from the 90s and avoid in quotes, air quotes, another recession by coming up with some other way of devaluing the currency, flooding the market with liquidity, and papering over another crisis? It seems to be the way of doing things around here.
So I don't believe that that's the way it's going to be, because unlike the 1990s, we now have smartphones that you can move money across the planet in 3 seconds. So the bond market will say, hey, you guys are going to start printing money. We're going to force the yields up. And if they start to print more money to buy the bonds up like they did, previously, if the bond market doesn't play ball, then it's a death spiral. it is the greatest fear of a central banker to have the bond market not play ball, and that's why they're always touchy-feely with the subject, because they can always piss off the bond market any second. So they're not going to flood the market. The bond market won't allow it. It's just not going to happen. The leverage. There's so much leverage in the system. There's so much bad debt that's out there in Canada. Everybody knows it. Once the foreign bond holders start selling, the Bank of Canada, they can't print, like it'll just force more selling. So, they can't buy up all the bonds, right? During COVID, they were able to do that because everybody was doing that. And now, Canada can't be a lone ship on this. So if the U.S. is not going to be printing money up to buy bonds, and Canada doesn't have that luxury to do it on their own. So we are going into a recession. How bad it's going to be, I don't know. I think they've lost all their fiscal and their monetary ability to print money up and start sending out checks. So eventually you have to pay the piper, right? Like we're at the point where we're going to have to pay the bill. Like this is plain and simple. It's just the bill has now come.
The bill is due. No more running out on the bill. That was the last one. The last one was the last one.
There's no printing. Wow. Have you ever seen, if you watch Jeff Macklem, the guy looks like he's gonna give birth when he goes up there now. Like you can see it in his face. It's like he has no idea, because
he definitely doesn't want to be there.
No, he's just so, they're not preparing, and they can't go out and start scaring people. So, they can't say, oh, you got to start saving money, you're going to be screwed, or sell your rental property or else you're going to be screwed. It's better to get out of the rental property now before everyone tries to get out all at once. We haven't seen that yet, but that's coming. Like there's going to be, it's going to get word on the streets, going to say, hey, like rental properties are going down. If you don't get out now, it's, you ain't getting out. And then all of a sudden there's no liquidity in the market. So I only have a degree in economics, so and a pilot's license. That's all I got. So, but
why didn't you say that earlier? I would have hung up on you a long time ago if I knew if you had that degree, Mr. O'Toole. Appreciate the time. You are a brave soul. Thank you for calling in. That was quite entertaining, sir. We'd love to have you back on in the next little while.
Get some of the other guys.
Yeah, but they're all a bunch of vaginas, man. It's crazy.
I feel lonely here.
You should. Yeah, I think we can even take multiple callers at the same time. So, maybe we'll try that next time. Jeff, pleasure.
All right, man.
Thanks for the input. Thanks for being part of the show. Appreciate your support. Talk to you soon. Thanks, Pop. All right, cool. Well, look at that. I figured out how to keep people's phone numbers off the air, so now you can feel better. The only phone number that is on the air is this one, and you can call in if you want to, and you don't have to. That was a good call-in. I like that portion of the show. Takes a little bit of the heat off of me, gives my throat a little bit of a break. Been talking all day. First, I did the Canadian real estate show. Now this Fakakta show. And here we are. So I was interrupted, not rudely, but I was interrupted before. We were looking at this thing here where we've been deceived. Do you remember that? About the tariffs from Mr. Trump. So let me just, oh my God, do I still have the live caller on the screen? I hope not. That would be a little annoying. No, it's gone. All right, cool. So here, Trump is misleading you on Canadian tariffs. You remember all this thing? Oh my God, we got another caller. Holy jumping Jesus. Okay, let's see. How do I do this? One moment, please. One moment, please. I didn't do that right. That's for damn sure. Okay, here. This is it. Now I press this button. We've got a caller. Hello? Caller, hello.
How's it going?
Oh. You wouldn't be wrong, sir. I could always use some help. This is not going well. It doesn't seem to ever go well, but here we are. A big happy family together. Now we got Don M. What do you have to say, sir?
I just want to say, everybody's screwed, right? The exponential curve has come for us. I was just talking about it in the chat. Dr. Al Bartlett, his work has stood the test of time. When you look at it, it is what it is.
Who?
It's the exponential curve.
Who?
Dr. Al Bartlett, I believe.
Dr. Al Bartlett?
Yeah, he was a mathematician, and he stated, like, 80s, 90s, basically the way that our money works is it works on the exponential curve. So like 2 to 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, right? So we're just starting to hit that curve, like really take off. If you look at the money supply charts, like it is what it is. And then with Canada, I just want to say, I don't understand why the States are so mad at us, because they told us not to be making things. Like, we were making the Avro Arrow. Don't make that. We'll give you NORAD. Oh, okay. Hey, your soldiers are a little too aggressive. They like to kill too many people. So maybe, like, you know what I mean? They wanted to use our resources and just buy it off of us. So they just turned us into their like little cuck, right?
Yeah, that's
what
what I was thinking today. It's like, guys, this is the system that was created, for fuck's sakes, and you guys were part of it. You decided to take advantage of whatever there was up here for whatever reason. Why did they?
They told us.
But why is the auto sector? Why is their auto sector here and in Mexico? Why here? Why here? Why not there?
We had a cheap dollar. Plus, we had a lot of the resources. The steel that came out of Hamilton, like, you know what I mean? It got freighted out of the north on the Great Lakes, smelted down, put into sheets. Like, we actually used to do shit. Like, even where I am in BC, they used to have huge boulders of copper just sitting in the rivers, and now it's all gone. And Rockwool makes their product out of the old slag heaps, right? So long story short, like, we're pretty fucked. Like, we don't make anything anymore. All we did was trade out, but everyone's fucked. It's okay. We're gonna figure it out, right?
Everybody's fucked. We're gonna figure it out. Hold on, I gotta stop you for 1 second, because alert. Odinosferatu has entered the chat. Just in case you were wondering. I don't know if you were here yesterday for Odinosferatu, new member of the family. Just saying. No, not interested.
But either which way, I just wanted to throw that out there.
Odinosferatu says only the savages going to make it now.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what does that mean to you, Don M? Only the savages are going to make it. What do you have to do to be a savage today to make it? And what does that look like? What does that mean?
You got to be crafty. You got to be thinking outside the box. If you're going to try and stick with the old game plan, you're just going to get ran over. Like right now, they got everyone Pavlovian dog trained into buy the dip. Well, guess what? It's going to be a rug pull, and then they're going to saddle you with what you owe, and then you're going to go broke, and I'm going to laugh.
Oh,
because it was pretty obvious.
It was pretty obvious that they were going to rug pull. What's the next pull? What are we pulling? What's the rug pull? The economy?
Recession, right?
The whole economy is the rug pull now.
So instead of papering over it, they could, don't get me wrong, they could for another time or two, but eventually they're going to say, no, bail in, and then that's it. You're done.
Okay,
like,
so because
everyone thinks the Canadian banks are infallible, like, no, like, they're not. Nobody's untouchable. Like, they could fail.
Well, because I have a vested interest in believing that everything's going to be okay, and because I do sincerely believe that at some point it will be okay again, can we explore the possibility that this will not be different than the previous times, that this will be a golden opportunity once again to print more fucking money like drunk, crazy madmen? Why is this crisis going to be the one that we don't print ourselves into oblivion? Why is this one going to be different? See, everybody keeps asking, why isn't it going to be the same as the other recessions? Well, we haven't had one, according to Jeff, since the 90s, right? We haven't had a real one since the 90s. And why is that? Because it's been okay to keep papering over everything, to keep flooding the system with fake liquidity and making it easy for people to borrow. So my question is always, and because I be clear, I have a vested interest in believing in this, okay? But regardless of that, why wouldn't they just print more and more and more? Our government is sitting there going, wow, well, when these tariffs hit, like, we're going to be ready for you Canadians. We're going to be there to back you up. We're going to be there. What does that mean? Money? Like, what else are they going to fucking do?
That's what I mean, though. That's the exponential curve. You keep printing, like, hey, man, you can keep printing money, but like few trillion here, few trillion there. And now you're talking about a quadrillion, right? And we're all scrapping it out for $35 an hour.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, I forget how old you are. I think you're close in age to me, right? I'm 49.
I'm 39.
Oh, you're 39. Yeah, so you're a pup. But like, we used to talk. First of all, okay, when I was younger, like in my early 20s, starting my career, $100,000 was a fucking, you were doing great, man. Okay, if you talked about a millionaire, like it was like, that guy is so fucking rich, this millionaire, it's insane. And then all of a sudden it was like billions became like not a big deal to say, right? First millions became nothing, right? Then billions now is nothing. Now we're talking trillions. It doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. Who's coming to make the U.S. pay the debt back? Who's coming to force us to pay the debt back? Isn't it all just a bunch of bullshit?
Don't get me wrong. It's all basically just a figment of your imagination. What's backing the money? Nothing.
Right.
Right.
Even if it's gold, what's backing it? Like, why is gold?
No, it's not.
What's gold?
Gold doesn't back it.
No, but what is gold? Like, why does gold hold value? Why do people think that gold is this
it's
big?
Rare.
Is it really? Is it really?
It's rare enough.
Rare enough. You know what's rare?
Don't get me wrong. Like, we've used feathers, we've used tally sticks, we've used whatever it is. It's just gold has like stood the test of time, right? Like thousands of years. All I know is because the Anunnaki want us to mine it to repair their atmosphere or whatever.
Now we're cooking, Donnie M. Okay, here we go.
Like,
no, now we're cooking.
I mean?
You did it.
But,
Let's go down this road. The Anunnaki. Okay, this is not a foreign concept to me. This is something that I have heard numerous times. Does anybody else out there know what the fuck us two madmen are talking about right now? Okay, you do it, Donnie. You be the crazy guy, but you go down that road now, mister. You do it.
Actually, you want to hear a crazy little tangent on it? All right, we're going on a tangent.
Already? So we didn't even go down the road. First, explain what the Anunnaki thing is with the gold. You got to start there. Then go on your tangent.
The ancient Mesopotamia, the Anunnaki is like those who came from heaven down, and then the first people to write and do agriculture in what is now Iraq. They wrote it down, and then oddly enough, they started finding more and more of their tablets, and they were housed in the Iraqi National Museum, and that was one of the first places looted when the States went to war with them in 2003, was the National Museum, never to be seen from again, those tablets.
Okay, wasn't expecting that. Okay.
No, it's like, it's crazy when you think about it, that it's a conspiracy theory, but yet somehow is the first things that were looted during the invasion of Iraq. Like, what the fuck?
Okay.
And you can't go there. You're not going to Iraq and digging stuff up and looking for information, right? But yeah.
Hold on a second. Let's back up a sec. Anunnaki. I'm going to try and keep you focused here. The Anunnakis, the alien civilization who is said to have manipulated the human DNA on this planet in order to control us so that we will be used as labor to mine the planet of gold that they need back on their planet. Do I have it right?
Yeah, then they need the gold to fix their atmosphere, and
they need the
Planet
gold.
X, Nibiru. It's supposed to be coming into into view soon, and yada yada yada.
Well, yada yada yada. But there's a lot of people that believe this stuff, and I don't know if I believe it, but I don't know that I don't believe it. I mean, we are a bunch of monkeys that think we're more than monkeys running around on a planet. Like, we don't know if we sat. If there was a more intelligent species, would we sound like a dog to them? Like, just right? Like, what do we actually sound like? We think we're talking, right? But it's just a bunch of gibberish that we made up. Anyways, okay, so Anunnaki, they've taken over the planet. They want us to mine their gold. And, okay, go. What's your tangent?
Oh, no, I was just saying it's funny how during the Iraq invasion that all the tablets were taken, right? Like,
the
that's
tablets.
crazy. Like,
Isn't
it doesn't really...
Isn't there supposed to be like a portal? Isn't there supposed to be like a portal there?
Yeah, that's all the ley lines and stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm not really an expert on that kind of stuff. There's tons of documentaries on it. But either which way, like, our money's just made up. Like, the first thing Trudeau did, he sold all of our gold. First thing he did, he sold all the gold. We had barrels and barrels and barrels of gold in the bottom of the Bank of Canada, and he sold it all for rock bottom prices. Oh, it's just a relic. Now it's worth $4,000. He probably sold it for $1,200.
Why would he do that?
Right.
Why can he do that?
Because he's an idiot.
Because he's an idiot?
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, how can he loot our national reserve like that?
I did not know that he did that.
That was within his first, week or month of being in office.
Really? So
I swear, it was the first thing he did.
So he legalized weed and sold the gold from out underneath us.
Yeah, man, and it's gone, right? Like, he hollowed out Canada. We've never been more divided. Like, I'm out west. Like, honestly, we're hoping to become the 51st state. Like, it is disgusting out here. Like, we're so tired of Ontario telling us what to do. Like, no offense, it's mostly Toronto and the GTA, but nobody's happy out here. Like, honestly, everyone's like, oh, well, who would defend us? Go ask Toronto. Go get some hippie in a man bun to do it, because we're not doing it.
Well, I don't think there's only hippies with man buns, although at times it seems like they have overrun the place. All right, Mr. Don M., the legend, you have one more thing to say, sir, before I hang up on you and move on. What is it that you would like to convey to all of your fans out there in the Canadian real estate YouTube extravaganza?
Nothing really. Just have a great day.
Donnie M says, have a great day, and we're going to end it with him there. Appreciate the call in, sir. You are a gentleman and a scholar and a brave, brave soul, not like the rest of you vaginas out there who can't muster up the courage to dial 10 phone numbers, one phone number, 10 digits. But I am happy. We had 2 call-ins in one day, and that was the best part of the show, because otherwise you guys are stuck with me. And who the hell would want to be stuck with me? Holy Jesus, we've been rambling on for more than an hour. We really did not get to anything here whatsoever. I got a whole list of shit that I wanted to talk about. And quite honestly, I don't want to talk anymore. I'm done talking, I think, for the moment. Although every time I say I'm going to stop talking, all of a sudden the amount of viewers spikes and I feel compelled to keep rambling, to just keep rambling. So while I'm rambling here, okay, why are you guys here, honestly? Like, what's the appeal? I was talking to Tom Story today, and he told me that he, watches the show in secret. Oh, no. We don't have a live caller anymore. I got to get better at this. No more live caller anymore, folks. Tom Story watches the show. Steve Karish watches the show. TK Butler watches the show, among other people. Norm Lee watches the show, for God's sakes. Sheridan Forbes watches the show. Dumb Money watches the show. Odin Nosferatu, okay? Aliens brings the views, right? Soon as we went into the Anunnaki mining the earth for gold, the viewership went through the roof compared to normal for this show. Now, the amount of likes, as Charlotte is pointing out, is quite pathetic compared to the amount of human beings or bots or a combination thereof in the chat currently. So do me a favor, hit the button, hit that subscribe button, more importantly, but hit the like button, say something in the chat. If you want to call in, I guess I could take one more caller today. One more caller if somebody wants to WhatsApp into this bad boy. There's the phone number right there if you want to WhatsApp into this bad boy. They, them energy. Where else do you get they, them energy to pump you up? Honestly. Okay? Where else? Where else? You know, it was funny today when we were talking to Tom Story, when TK Butler and I were talking to Tom Story today on the Canadian Real Estate Show. Tom said that people should unsubscribe to our channel and they should double subscribe to their channel. And I didn't get a chance to say it, but all I was thinking is double subscribe came from the Canadian Real Estate Show. It is now in the lexicon of the Canadian real estate, YouTube, and social media spectrum because of the man who just called in. Double subscribe, double subscription Dawn. Okay? He tried to save the show, but he couldn't. The show is unsavable. What's the updated list, dumb money? I double liked in secret. Can you do that? Darryl first. When do I get to earn the L back at the end of my name, dumb money? What is your purpose of subtracting the L from the end of my name? Weird. Other than just fucking pissing me off and annoying the fucking shit out of me, which you're probably like a 7-year-old little girl just pushing my buttons like a little bitch. Dumb money. Okay. You have been downgraded from Steve Carish, potentially, to a 7-year-old bully girl. God damn it. Yes. Donnie M is a legend. You know who's a real legend? Charlottetown. Charlottetown is the secret sauce, okay? I wish she'd call in more often, but she's shy. Sheridan Forbes should call in, for God's sakes. Finance Department figures show that Canada sold 41,106 ounces of gold coins in December and another, holy shit, 32,860 ounces of gold coins in January 2016. Yikes, I'm guessing that it's gone up since then. D. Trent shouldn't have this language on in church. Is he really in church? Is D. Trent a church-going guy? What day is today? What are you doing in church in the afternoon is today Thursday? On a Thursday. Huh? What are you doing at church on a Thursday? Is Thursday a normal church day? I don't go to church. Anyways, here we are once again. Nothing to say. Just our love for each other keeping us together. And quite honestly, it's no longer enough for me. I've had fun today. I hope you have.